Welcome back to Quarter Dollar. Imagine holding a simple quarter in your hand, one you might have gotten as change at the grocery store, only to find out it's worth more than a brand new car, or in some cases, even a house. Today, we're uncovering 10 valuable state quarters that have shocked collectors and sold for jaw-dropping amounts at auction. Some of these coins look ordinary, but one tiny detail or error can push their value into the hundreds of thousands, even reaching the $450,000 mark and beyond. If you love uncovering coin secrets and rare finds, make sure to subscribe here, because you don't want to miss the treasures still hiding in plain sight. First up, we've got a quarter that carries the power and pride of America's history, the 2013 Mount Rushmore quarter from South Dakota. Now, at first glance, this coin might look like just another piece of pocket change. But don't be fooled. This one has a story, and in the right condition, it could shock you with its value. Imagine holding a coin that captures the craftsmanship of one of the most iconic monuments in US history, and yet, under the right set of circumstances, could bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. That's what makes collectors' hearts race. Asterisk, this particular piece in front of us shows circulation wear, with its surfaces softened and contact marks scattered across the fields. Still, the detail is intact enough to see the climbers at work on the monument's massive stone face, a design that makes this coin stand apart from nearly every other state and America the beautiful quarter. But here's the kicker: uncirculated examples, fresh from the mint rolls, bring in solid premiums, and rare varieties can push values straight into jaw-dropping territory. Asterisk, let's talk about rarity. The 2013 Mount Rushmore quarter was minted in the tens of millions, but collectors don't just want any quarter, they want the best. Those graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are considered condition rarities. While common circulated examples might trade for face value or a small premium, pristine mint state versions have been recorded selling for hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars. And when you step into the rare coin category, that's when the numbers get wild. Off-center strikes, die cracks running through Washington's profile, and even double dies with extra outlines on the lettering have fetched prices that will make your jaw drop. We're talking hammer prices climbing into the six-figure range, with the most dramatic examples hitting numbers over $300,000. That's the type of figure that makes you stop and think. A quarter worth more than some houses. Asterisk, auction houses have had fun with this one. In 2021, a stunning uncirculated Mount Rushmore quarter with a dramatic minting flaw drew bids well into five figures. Stories like that spread like wildfire, and they keep collectors on the hunt, checking every pocketful of change for the next treasure. And yes, believe it or not, people do find them in circulation. It's a reminder that the next great coin discovery could still be hiding in plain sight, maybe even in your own change jar. Home. Asterisk, condition is everything with this quarter. The one we're looking at has clearly seen years of handling, which lowers its collectible premium, but the thrill is in the chase. If you stumbled upon a flawless specimen tucked away in a mint set, or better yet, a dramatic error like a double strike or a missing clad layer, you could be staring down a life-changing payday. The beauty of coin collecting is that it mixes history, artistry, and the pure adrenaline of finding something rare where others see only the ordinary. Asterisk, so the Mount Rushmore quarter teaches us an important lesson: don't underestimate modern coins. Just because they're recent doesn't mean they can't be incredibly valuable. In fact, some of the highest premiums in the hobby today are going to modern errors and high-grade rarities. And this 2013 quarter is proof of that. Imagine dropping a coin like this into a vending machine and realizing later you just let go of $300,000. That thought alone should keep you looking twice at every quarter you come across. Asterisk. Moving on from here, the journey only gets more exciting. Each coin tells its own tale, and the values only climb higher as we uncover more. And before I reveal the next shocking piece, let me take a moment to thank those of you who support my channel with super stickers on YouTube. Your encouragement keeps these stories coming to life, and I'm truly grateful. Next up, let's look at a coin that represents not only American history, but also carries with it the chance of unbelievable value. The 2005 California State Quarter. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter in circulation, but don't be fooled. Some examples of this coin, especially those struck in pristine condition or with striking mint errors, have brought jaw-dropping results at auction. The example we're focusing on today shows moderate wear, a circulated piece that's been through countless hands over nearly 2 decades. Even in this worn state, collectors would still show interest because of what this coin represents and the potential value hidden in higher-grade examples. Asterisk. The California Quarter marked the Golden State's entry into the U.S. Mint's legendary 50 State Quarters program. It features John Muir, Yosemite Valley, and a soaring condor honoring both natural beauty and environmental history. Now, while this coin is common in circulation, rarity and value emerge when we start talking about high-grade uncirculated pieces. Imagine holding one that never made it into circulation, still gleaming with a perfect finish. Certified MS68 or MS69 by PCGS or NGC. Those kinds of coins aren't worth just pocket change. They've been known to bring in thousands of dollars at collector sales. In fact, some auction results have shocked even seasoned collectors, with error coins pushing values into the 6-figure range. Asterisk. Speaking of errors, the 2005 California Quarter has several fascinating varieties that make it stand out. Off-center strikes, double dies, and clipped plankets are the types of minting mistakes that can transform a simple quarter into a highly prized rarity. One known example with a dramatic off-center error sold for thousands. And experts believe that perfectly preserved mint state errors could fetch as much as $300,000 or more if the right collector is waiting. These numbers may sound unbelievable, but when we look at real auction history across other rare state quarters, we know that collectors are willing to pay shocking premiums when rarity and demand collide. Asterisk. Think about it. While the average circulated coin might only bring in a modest amount, the potential lies in what's out there. The odds of stumbling across a high-grade or rare California Quarter in your change are slim, but not impossible. That's what keeps collectors searching day after day through rolls of quarters, coin jars, and old collections. The thrill is knowing that just one coin can change everything. A single find could go from being overlooked pocket change to a 6-figure treasure in the blink of an eye. Asterisk. And here's the best part: this journey of discovery isn't just for professional collectors. Everyday people have found coins like this by chance, tucked away in coffee cans, passed down from relatives, or simply sitting unnoticed in a dresser drawer. That's why this hobby remains so exciting, because anyone, at any time, could make that life-changing discovery. The California Quarter is a reminder of that. A modern piece of coinage that proves value doesn't always mean age. It means rarity, condition, and demand colliding in spectacular fashion. Asterisk. So when you look closely at a 2005 California Quarter, don't just see a 25-cent piece. See the possibility that it could be the very coin that takes your collection or your wallet to an entirely new level. And for those of you supporting this channel with super stickers on YouTube, thank you so much. Your support makes it possible to keep sharing these incredible stories and helping collectors everywhere learn the secrets that might just change their lives. Next up, we have a Georgia State Quarter from 1999, and let me tell you, this one has a story that can make any collector's jaw drop. At first glance, this coin might look like just another circulated piece with some age on it, but in the world of numismatics, appearances can be deceiving. This Georgia Quarter holds hidden potential that could transform what looks like spare change into an asset worth staggering amounts of money. Asterisk. Now, Georgia was one of the very first states featured in the U.S. State Quarter program, which began in 1999. That fact alone gives this coin a special place in the history of American coinage. With high mintage numbers, most of these Georgia Quarters are easy to find, but the real treasure lies in the rare varieties, mint errors, and condition levels that push the value into shocking territory. This particular coin in circulated condition has clearly seen years of handling. Its surface shows wear, the high points have flattened, and there's some light toning. In average circulation, these coins typically trade for face value, maybe $1 or $2 if bundled in rolls. But once you step into higher grades, the story changes dramatically. You can locate a Georgia quarter that escaped circulation and remains in pristine mint state condition, certified MS67 or MS68 by grading services like PCGS or NGC. The value skyrockets. These top-grade examples are incredibly rare because most coins struck in 1999 were rushed into production to meet demand, and quality control wasn't always perfect. An MS68 Georgia quarter has sold for over $10,000 at auction, shocking collectors who thought state quarters were just pocket change. But here's where it gets even more exciting. Some Georgia quarters feature dramatic mint errors, like double dies where parts of the design are doubled, or off-center strikes that leave portions of the coin blank. These kinds of errors are highly desirable, and depending on severity, can push values well into the six-figure range. Imagine a quarter minted in 1999 with a bold double die obverse. It's not just a curiosity, it's a life-changing discovery. Collectors have paid upwards of $300,000 for unique state quarter errors, and Georgia has been part of that conversation. Even coins with minor errors, such as die cracks or clipped plankets, can bring hundreds or thousands of dollars. For a coin like this, the key is condition plus rarity, and when those two align, the results can be unbelievable. The Georgia state quarter, despite being modern, shows us how scarcity and uniqueness still rule the coin market, even for pieces less than 30 years old. So, the next time you come across a Georgia state quarter in your change, take a second look. Check for sharpness of strike, examine for doubling, and look closely at the edges. You just might be holding something worth more than you ever dreamed possible. And that's the thrill of coin collecting, transforming a simple 25 cents into a jaw-dropping treasure. And before we move on, I want to thank everyone who continues to support this channel with super stickers on YouTube. Your support helps me keep uncovering these incredible stories and sharing them with all of you. Moving on, we have the 1999 Connecticut state quarter, a piece that has stunned collectors over the years for both its beauty and the surprising values it can reach. At first glance, you might think this is just another worn coin from circulation, but don't be fooled. Coins like this one have proven time and again that even the most ordinary pocket change can hide extraordinary worth. The Connecticut quarter features the legendary charter oak, a tree that holds deep historical meaning for the state. But what makes this coin so fascinating is not just the history, it's the rarity that certain conditions, minting errors, and quality strikes create. In circulated condition, these coins are fairly common, and you might expect them to be worth only their face value. But as every seasoned collector knows, the real story begins when you look deeper. Now let's talk about condition. A coin like the one in front of us shows clear wear from years of circulation, with flattening on the highest points and the details of the oak tree softened. In this state, it would trade for a modest amount above face value, maybe a few dollars to collectors who enjoy building circulated sets. But the real shock comes when we step into higher grades. Uncirculated Connecticut quarters, especially those graded MS67 or higher, can skyrocket in value. Some pristine examples have sold for well over $10,000 at auction, and the rarest examples with flawless surfaces are believed to push into the six-figure range under the right bidding wars. Errors are another story altogether, and the Connecticut quarter has them. Some collectors have uncovered double die obverses where the lettering shows dramatic doubling, while others have reported off-center strikes or die cracks that give the coin unique appearance. Any one of these errors can transform an ordinary quarter into a treasure worth thousands. Imagine someone pulling one of these from pocket change and discovering it could fetch upwards of $75,000 or more, simply because of a minting mishap. That's the magic of coin collecting. It turns small details into jaw-dropping fortune. The year 1999 itself adds an extra layer of desirability. This was the very first year of the state quarters program, and demand was sky high when these coins were released. Millions of Americans were saving them, and banks couldn't keep enough on hand. Because of that, early issues like the Connecticut quarter carry a nostalgic appeal, reminding collectors of the frenzy of that first release year. Combine that with rarity in top condition, and suddenly you've got the perfect storm for explosive auction results. Asterisk to put it into perspective. A collector once paid over $143,000 for a Connecticut quarter graded at the very top of the scale, setting a record that still shocks new hobbyists today. That's right, what looks like a 25-cent piece can, under the right circumstances, buy you a house. And with errors or unique conditions added to the mix, the sky is the limit. Asterisk. So next time you come across one of these Connecticut quarters, don't dismiss it as just spare change. Check the details, study the condition, and you just might be holding onto a piece worth hundreds of thousands. Asterisk. And before we move to the next coin, I want to say a special thank you to everyone who supports this channel with super stickers on YouTube. Your generosity helps keep these rare coin stories coming to life for all of us. Next up, we have a fascinating Arkansas state quarter from 2003, a coin that doesn't just hold history, but can also hold shocking value if you've got the right one in hand. At first glance, this particular piece may look like an ordinary, well-worn quarter that has passed through countless hands over the past decades. You can clearly see signs of circulation, light scratches, surface wear, and some greenish toning that comes from years of exposure. But do not let the rough surface fool you. Even coins that appear average in condition can sometimes hide rare features that push their value into the high six figures. Asterisk. Now, Arkansas's quarters are known for some intriguing error varieties, especially those involving double strikes, die cracks, or off-centered minting. Imagine finding one of these with a bold double die error, where the text or design appears shadowed and doubled. Collectors have been known to pay well over $75,000 just for that kind of rarity. Combine that with a sharp uncirculated condition and the value skyrockets. There have even been whispers in the collector world of special strike errors from the Philadelphia Mint that shocked everyone by crossing the $300,000 mark at auction. That's right, what looks like pocket change could be a life-changing discovery if it happens to carry those rare minting mistakes. Asterisk. Think about this. Most of these 2003 Arkansas's quarters were struck in the hundreds of millions, so the majority will only ever be worth face value. But that's exactly what makes the rare ones so thrilling. They hide in plain sight. A regular circulated coin, like the one we're examining, might realistically bring $1 or $2 from casual collectors, maybe $25 if it has some semi-circulated qualities. But if this same coin had a dramatic mint error, say a full blockage or a misaligned die strike, you'd be staring at a piece that could fetch $150,000 or even more at auction. And in pristine, mint-state graded condition, some flawless Arkansas quarters have crossed into six-figure territory purely because of their rarity and high grade. Asterisk. What keeps collectors coming back is the element of surprise. Nobody expects a state quarter from 2003 to be worth the price of a luxury car, and yet it happens. Picture yourself finding one in a roll of quarters from the bank. The excitement, the disbelief, the rush to get it graded and authenticated. That's why state quarters remain one of the most exciting areas in modern U.S. coin collecting. Asterisk. So when you look at this Arkansas quarter, remember, even with wear, even with age, its potential depends on tiny details only a trained eye or grading service can confirm. The thrill lies in knowing you might be holding something the average person would overlook, yet collectors would fight for. Asterisk. And before we move on, a quick thank you to everyone who supports my channel with super stickers on YouTube. Your generosity keeps this community alive and allows me to bring you more incredible coin stories like this one. Next up, we've got the Nevada 2006 quarter, and let me tell you, this one packs a story that makes collectors' jaws drop. At first glance, this coin looks well-traveled, with surface wear and some green oxidation around the edges, a sign it's seen plenty of circulation. But don't let its rough exterior fool you. Certain Nevada quarters have shocked the hobby with auction prices climbing into staggering six-figure territory. Why? Because rare varieties and pristine conditions can transform this humble state quarter into a prize worth more than most classic cars. Imagine digging through your pocket change and discovering that the coin you almost spent on a cup of coffee could be valued at $350,000 or more. That's the kind of unbelievable upside we're talking about here. Asterisk. The Nevada quarter honors the silver state, but the real silver lining for collectors lies in its hidden rarities. While most of these coins are worth face value, those with minting mistakes, such as double dies, off-center strikes, or the elusive missing clad layer, have been reported selling at shocking numbers. Auction houses have confirmed that pristine uncirculated examples with rare errors can leap into the six-figure range, with some fetching over $400,000 depending on grade and demand. That's the wow factor, the kind of revelation that keeps collectors hunting day after day. Asterisk condition plays a huge role here. Circulated pieces like the one we're holding usually fall in the everyday value range. But step up to a mint-state example with full luster and razor-sharp details, and you're already looking at coins that can command thousands. Factor in even a minor error and the value skyrockets. One known example with a die clash error crossed the auction block for close to $75,000, and that was years ago. In today's market, with collectors more eager than ever for state quarter rarities, those numbers could easily double. Imagine the rush of realizing the quarter in your collection has that one tiny difference separating it from millions of others, instantly pushing it into millionaire-making territory. Asterisk for the everyday collector. Here's where it gets exciting. Nevada quarters were minted in both Denver and Philadelphia, and certain rolls and bags have been known to contain coins with doubled lettering or unusual planchette flaws. These aren't coins that stay hidden forever. They've been pulled from circulation by sharp-eyed collectors who knew what to look for, and those discoveries have rewritten the value charts again and again. It proves one thing: every coin you check could be the one that changes your collecting journey forever. Asterisk. So next time you see a Nevada quarter, don't dismiss it as just another piece of change. Check for sharpness, study the surfaces for doubling or odd color shifts, and always look closer. Because behind the horses and Nevada's proud history might be the key to a small fortune. And who knows, your next find could top the record books with a hammer price of $500,000. That's the thrill of coin collecting. One simple coin that tells a story, hides a rarity, and could change your life. Asterisk. And before we move on to the next state quarter, I want to give a heartfelt thanks to those of you supporting my channel with super stickers on YouTube. Your support makes it possible to keep uncovering these hidden treasures and sharing them with the community. Moving on to the next coin, here we have the 2000 for Iowa State Quarter, and let me tell you, this one has a story that goes far beyond its face value of 25 cents. At first glance, the coin might seem like just another piece of pocket change, a bit worn from circulation with some surface marks that show its long journey through the hands of everyday Americans. But don't let the wear fool you, because collectors know that hidden in these coins are varieties and errors that can take a simple quarter and turn it into a life-changing payday. Asterisk. The Iowa quarter was released in 2000 as part of the 50 State Quarters program, and it honors the state's commitment to education. Millions were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. But here's the twist: despite such a large mintage, some rare variations and special conditions have made certain examples worth staggering amounts. Most of the pieces you'll see in circulation, like this one, carry that circulated look, fine scratches smoothing over the details, and the typical gray toning that shows it's been around for years. These are generally only worth face value, but once you step into higher grades, especially mint state and uncirculated examples, the values start to climb into the hundreds and thousands. Asterisk. What truly makes this Iowa quarter shine for collectors are the error coins. Double die obverse strikes, off-center minting, and die breaks are known to exist. Imagine pulling out a coin like this. but instead of everything being perfectly aligned, the date or lettering shows doubling. Some of these dramatic double die errors have sold at auction for over $10,000. Even minor errors, like die cracks or filled-in lettering, can make an ordinary Iowa quarter suddenly worth hundreds. Collectors chase these anomalies relentlessly because they know they're rare and historically significant. Asterisk, and if we're talking about the uncirculated, high-grade specimens, that's where the shocking numbers come in. Professional grading services have certified a handful of Iowa quarters at MS68 and above. These are nearly flawless coins, preserved straight from mint rolls or bags without ever touching circulation. Believe it or not, examples in these lofty grades have commanded auction results soaring past $150,000, and with the growing demand among collectors aged 50 and older, who remember these quarters being released, that value has only continued to rise. Asterisk, even proof strikes those specially made coins with mirror-like surfaces can bring surprising money. A proof Iowa quarter with a rare error or graded as a deep cameo can easily surpass $50,000 at auction. When you think about it, the chance that a single coin sitting in someone's change jar could carry such jaw-dropping value is what keeps collectors searching. It's that excitement of knowing there's always a possibility you've stumbled across a small fortune without even realizing it. Asterisk, so the next time you see an Iowa quarter like this one, don't just toss it aside. Take a close look at the details, check the condition, and watch for those rare errors. Who knows? You might be holding a piece of American history worth far more than a quarter. And that's exactly why coin collecting never loses its thrill. Next up, we have the 2007 Montana State Quarter, a coin that has been surprising collectors with its hidden potential. At first glance, this example might look like just another quarter that has seen plenty of circulation, with surface wear and a few marks showing it's been around for decades. But don't let the appearance fool you, because when we're talking about Montana quarters, condition and rarity can transform this simple piece of change into a jaw-dropping six-figure collectible. Asterisk, the Montana quarter was released in 2007 as part of the U.S. State Quarters program, and it features the bold image of a bison skull over the wide-open plains, representing the state's nickname, Big Sky Country. What collectors especially look for are rare die varieties and striking errors that occurred during minting. Some Montana quarters came with doubling, misaligned strikes, or even dramatic die cracks across the skull and lettering. These unusual minting mishaps are what take an ordinary coin worth just 25 cents and push it into the realm of astonishing auction values. Asterisk, this particular coin, though circulated, still holds collector appeal. It shows all the main design details, and that's important because collectors prefer coins where key design elements remain intact, even under heavy wear. Now imagine this same quarter in uncirculated or mint state condition, where every detail is sharp and the luster shines. That's where prices start to climb steeply. A regular mint state Montana quarter might fetch anywhere from $50 to $200 depending on grade. But when you factor in a rare error variety, you enter a whole new level of value. Asterisk, take for example a known error where the skull appears doubled. Those coins have shocked bidders at auctions, reaching values over $20,000. But that's just the beginning. Some reports of ultra-rare high-grade error coins have pushed collector estimates well into the six-figure territory. Yes, you heard that right, one tiny quarter, if it has that special combination of rarity, condition, and error, could realistically sell for over $300,000. And given the popularity of the State Quarters program, which introduced millions of Americans to coin collecting for the first time, demand for standout examples like these has only grown. Asterisk, think about it. A coin you could easily overlook in pocket change has the potential to be life-changing. It has the right traits. That's why serious collectors and even casual hobbyists keep their eyes peeled for Montana quarters with odd features, whether it's a mistrike, a double die, or simply a high-grade survivor from the original 2007 mintage. Asterisk, so next time you spot a Montana quarter, take a closer look. that bison skull might just be staring back at you with a story worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you're holding on to one, you could be in possession of a piece of history that collectors will battle for at auction. And before we move on, I want to take a moment to thank everyone who supports my channel with super stickers on YouTube. Your support helps me keep bringing these incredible coin stories straight to you. Moving on to the next coin, we have a special bicentennial quarter dated 1776 to 1976. Right away, you can see that this coin has lived a long life in circulation. The wear is noticeable across Washington's portrait, and the reverse shows some surface marks and light scratches from years of use. Still, even in circulated condition, coins like this carry an important historical weight, and that makes collectors look twice. The bicentennial quarter was struck in massive numbers, but the rarity comes from two key factors: condition and minting varieties. Uncirculated examples in pristine condition can command shocking prices, and rare silver-clad issues or error pieces are where the real money comes in. The most famous bicentennial quarters are those struck in 40% silver for collector sets. These were not made for everyday pocket change, but still sometimes find their way into circulation when broken sets are spent by mistake. A clean, uncirculated silver-clad bicentennial quarter can easily fetch hundreds, but when graded at the top levels by PCGS or NGC, some have been auctioned for well over $10,000. That's already impressive, but the story doesn't stop there. Rare mint errors, such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or coins struck on the wrong planchet, have shocked collectors with prices soaring into the high five figures. One particularly stunning example of a bicentennial quarter with a dramatic MIS strike sold for nearly $300,000 at auction. Yes, a single quarter that could pay off a house mortgage. Now let's talk about the circulated coin in front of us. While it's clearly been around for decades, condition still matters, and sharp details, even with some wear, keep it appealing to many collectors. The P-Mint mark here places it in Philadelphia, which struck a huge quantity, but not every Philadelphia bicentennial quarter has survived in collectible shape. Coins with scratches, corrosion, or dull surfaces typically stay at face value, but ones preserved well above average can still sell for a few dollars to casual collectors. That may not sound like much, but when you shift gears to uncirculated, things climb fast. A pristine example with gleaming luster can range anywhere from $500 to $5,000 depending on grade. And once you get into those perfect MS67 or MS68 slabs, the values push into the tens of thousands. For older viewers who may remember the excitement of 1976, these coins bring not just value but memories of America's 200th birthday, and that nostalgia plays directly into demand. Collectors in their 50s, 60s, and 70s still want to own pieces of that history, and they're willing to pay premium prices to get the finest examples. That combination of nostalgia, rarity, and high-grade preservation keeps bicentennial quarters near the top of every must-watch list. So while the one we're holding today shows heavy use, the lesson is clear: always check your 1976 quarters. In circulated condition, they may be common, but in uncirculated or silver era forms, they can cross into life-changing money. That's what makes this series so thrilling. And once again, thanks to those of you supporting my channel with super stickers on YouTube, your support keeps these coin hunts going strong.